Frida Kahlo lied about when she was born. She told everyone she came into the world in 1910, not 1907. But this wasn't about vanity. She wanted people to believe she was born the same year as the Mexican Revolution, a defining moment that reshaped her country. That lie was just the beginning of a life where she turned unbearable suffering into art that still captivates millions. This is the story of a woman who refused to let pain define her. Frida Kahlo was born on July 6, 1907, in Coyoacán, a neighborhood outside Mexico City. Her father, Guillermo Kahlo, was a German-Hungarian photographer. Her mother, Matilde Calderón, came from indigenous and Spanish roots. Frida grew up in La Casa Azul, the bright blue house that would become one of Mexico's most visited museums. At age 6, she contracted polio. The disease left her right leg thinner and weaker. She walked with a limp for life. Other children mocked her. She wore long, colorful skirts to hide the difference, but nothing stopped the cruelty. Despite this, Frida was brilliant. In 1922, at 15, she entered La Preparatoria, one of Mexico's best schools. Out of 2,000 students, only 35 were girls. She joined the Cachuchas, a group of rebellious intellectuals who debated politics and pulled pranks. Frida was fearless. She wanted to become a doctor. On September 17, 1925, everything changed. Frida was 18, riding a bus with her boyfriend. A streetcar slammed into them. A metal handrail tore through her body, piercing her pelvis. Her spine fractured in 3 places. Her collarbone snapped. Ribs broke. Her right leg shattered in 11 places. Her foot was crushed. Doctors didn't think she'd survive. But she did. For weeks, she lay in a full body cast, unable to move. The pain was unbearable. Her dreams of becoming a doctor were gone. Then her father brought her paints and brushes. He installed a mirror above her bed so she could see herself while lying down. Frida began to paint. Her first work was called The Bus, showing the moment before everything changed. Painting became her survival. She later said, "I paint myself because I am so often alone, and because I am the subject I know best." In 1928, Frida met Diego Rivera, a famous Mexican muralist. She showed him her work. He was impressed. He told her she had real talent. They fell for each other and married in 1929. She was 22. He was 42. He was massive, over 300 pounds. She was tiny and vibrant. People called them the elephant and the dove. But Diego was unfaithful. He had constant affairs, even with Frida's own sister. That betrayal destroyed her. Frida had affairs too, with revolutionary Leon Trotsky, with women, including singer Chavela Vargas. Their marriage was passionate, toxic, and creative. Frida once said, "There have been 2 great accidents in my life. One was the streetcar, and the other was Diego." The bus accident left Frida unable to carry children. Her pelvis was too damaged. She became pregnant at least 3 times. Each pregnancy ended in miscarriage. She desperately wanted children. The loss broke her. In 1932, after another miscarriage in Detroit, she painted Henry Ford Hospital. It shows her lying naked on a hospital bed, bleeding. Floating around her are objects connected by red ribbons: a fetus, a fractured pelvis, an orchid shaped like a uterus. It's brutal and raw. Most people would hide that pain. Frida showed it to the world. In 1939, after years of Diego's betrayals, they divorced. That year, she painted the Two Fridas. 2 versions of herself sit side by side, hearts exposed, connected by a vein. One wears traditional Mexican dress. The other wears European clothing. One holds scissors, ready to cut the connection. The other holds a portrait of Diego. It shows her torn identity. They remarried a year later. They couldn't stay apart. Pain and love were inseparable. By the 1940s, Frida's health collapsed. She had over 30 surgeries. She wore metal corsets, She drank heavily and used painkillers to cope. In 1953, gangrene infected her right leg. Doctors amputated it below the knee. She wrote in her diary, "Feet, what do I need them for if I have wings to fly?" That same year, she had her first solo exhibition in Mexico. She was too ill to walk. She arrived on a stretcher. Her bed was brought into the gallery. She greeted guests while lying down, surrounded by her paintings. It was triumphant and tragic. 8 days before her death, she painted her last work. Slices of watermelon against a bright sky. Carved into one slice, "Viva la vida." Long live life. On July 13th, 1954, Frida Kahlo died at La Casa Azul. She was 47. Frida created over 200 works. 55 were self-portraits. She painted herself obsessively because her face and body were the subjects she knew best. She explored pain, identity, and what it meant to be Mexican. For decades, she was dismissed as Diego's wife. But in the 1970s, feminists rediscovered her. They saw a woman who refused to be silenced, who painted her own pain and truth when women rarely had that voice. Today, Frida Kahlo is a global icon, but her real legacy isn't her image, it's her refusal to hide. She made suffering visible. She turned pain into power. She once said, "I am not sick. I am broken, but I am happy to be alive as long as I can paint." That's who Frida Kahlo was, an artist who transformed pain into power and suffering into art that will endure forever.